Okay, so now it's time for a segment that I like to call Guitar of the Week. We had our first Guitar of the Week segment last week with our Epiphone Broadway from 1938, and now I will show you this. This is a Gibson SJ, or Southern Jumbo, from 1955. And I don't know how easy it's going to be for you to see this, but it's got a lot of finish checking. You can see down here, it's got a lot of wear. And I just put another ding on it, but that's okay because it's mine. I've got a little bit of bellying, but it's not that bad. It's not going to need a neck reset quite yet, but it's getting fairly close, I guess. We've got some a lot of wear. You can see this thing was really played. Somebody loved the hell out of it, and it was one guy, one owner, who loved the hell out of it. I bought this guitar from his widow, sadly. He had passed away, and so I ended up with it. She didn't know what to charge for it. I told her I was uncomfortable with being the guy to offer because, you know, the inclination is to say, well, you know, I want it for as low as you're going to take for it. But at the same time, when you're dealing with a widow, it makes it really hard. And when you've got a conscience, you know, it is what it is. So I ended up offering her a fair price. I'm not going to disclose what price it was, but it was a very fair price. And so we arrived at that. And this thing did have Groverized tuning machines, which did detract from the value in my eyes because you can't go back after you've drilled out for Grovers. It's going to be Grovers from here on out, unless you get you can get some larger grommets, larger spacers, and you can go back to Clouson style, which this would have had originally. But it's, you know, it's never going to be exactly the same as it was because the holes will be larger. But this thing has got a really nice tone. Let me find a pick. I like playing my acoustic guitars when I'm picking them, especially when I'm picking a really nice one. I like to find a fairly thick pick, and the reason for that is you get the most energy transfer from your pick into the strings with a thicker pick. If you use too thin of a pick, you don't get hardly any energy transfer out of that, and you're just defeating yourself. This .69 D'Addario pick is a pretty good one, but I'm going to see if I can find something slightly thicker. Hell, I've got enough of them. Sure, I can find one. That one that's too thick. Here we go. There's a Martin .73. That'll be a good. And I'll demonstrate what I mean here. We'll go from a 7.3 to a 6.9 to a 6.0. Let's see. What else do I have? The Fender Medium is not labeled. I can't remember what it is. Try to find a thin. All right, that's a heavy. We'll try that one too. Okay, there's a Fender thin. Okay, so this might seem a little bit silly. Let's see. Let's do this. There's a 1.5. All right, I'll show you what I have here. Okay, first of all, I'm going to try a Fender Fin Pic. Okay, this is just your traditional tortoise Fender Fin. Okay, so I'll show you this with this guitar, and I'll just strum some chords. I was in drop D. not bad. Let's move up to a Fender Medium. And again, that's just a standard tortoise style Fender Medium. Okay, here's a Dunlop 0.6, and it's actually I think slightly thinner than the Fender Medium, but okay, let's try this Diodario 0.69 millimeter. Okay, here is a Martin 0.73. Okay, now here is a Fender Heavy, which is a 1.21 millimeter. Sorry if you can't read these. I know I've got my lighting behind me, which is kind of silly, but that one's almost too heavy in terms of both comfort, because there's no give to that really at all on the strings. So you end up with a really round kind of attack. See when I do that strum right there? Okay, I'm gonna go down to the 0.73 again. Same spot. I'm actually picking on the same spot of the guitar as well. Okay. I'll go back to this 1.21 again. See, it's a rounder, smoother attack. There's actually almost no attack at all. Now if I go down to this 0.69, okay, let's go to a thin now. A thin gives it a good attack, but you can actually hear the little thuds of the pick itself, which I don't like. I like to be able to control that without. I mean, you get a chimey sort of attack with this thing. So if you're wanting to, if you're wanting to kind of simulate a 12-string jangle, or something. If I slow down though and do that. Do it with this pick. And especially if you start doing faster passages, like if you start doing, those kind of passages like that, if you try to thin pick, listen to this. Okay, now let's go back one more time to the 0.73. Now let's go to a big pick. Let's go to a thick Dunlop. This is a 1.5. Can you even see that? This is a 1.5 Dunlop, the green ones. Usually these are kind of reserved for bassists. Some people who are flat pickers might like this because it's going to give you that kind of consistent sort of it's more compressed sounding. You don't get quite as many of the little accidents in dynamics as you would get with a pick like this. But this is going to tell on you. It allows you to control your dynamics though. So if you master actually playing something more like this, like a 0.69, for me is where it's at on acoustic. It has enough of that crispness of the attack without getting too muddy. Probably get out of drop D, shouldn't I? love about this guitar, you can just get those really nice, really nice. Listen to that low E. Neck needs to be adjusted a little bit. solid and it's completely rancid and beautiful, like a force field of multiplying meat. Cut a hole in the floor to see just how close to hell we're standing. Time shoots forward in your skull, scattered to the four winds, chucked in the bucket, riding lamppost, moldy toast, excitement level 0. Rock the Casbah, bring the noise, amplified dishwashers exploring the boring to the core. People with cordless personalities running around in new wave biological jogging suits. California, white boy sound, rocket powered and nailed to the ground. New age, old age, totally lame, straight to the middle of the road. Rewind the tape and play the whole thing backwards with the sound completely turned off. So yeah, it's a 1955 Gibson Southern Jumbo, and they were sure making good guitars back then.